If you like to laugh, and who doesn't, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to My Funny House with the Powell brothers. Frank Powell is a real estate broker who was born and raised in San Diego, along with Frank's brother Mark, a real estate broker who also lives in San Diego. Each week, the Powell brothers bring in a special guest comedian to share hilarious real estate stories so you can learn what can go really right and what can go really wrong with home improvements and home ownership. So now, let's get into it. With My Funny House, here are your hosts, Frank and Mark Powell on The Answer San Diego.
Good morning, San Diego. My name is Mark Powell. I'm a real estate broker with Powell Brothers Realty. I'd like to introduce my brother, who's also a real estate broker with Powell Brothers Realty, Frank Powell.
Welcome. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. We got a fun show tonight. But before we get started, we also want to introduce one of the most important people that we have, and that's back with us is Maria Herman.
Woo! There she is.
Maria, say something so they know you're with us.
I'm here, and you just said this is going to be a fun show tonight, so I'm ready.
Yes,
I'm ready.
even though it's the morning.
Right.
I say, oh, chap.
I know.
That's because he just got home.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what day it is. Maria, who else do we have here in studio? Can you guess?
Oh, I can guess because I'm also looking at him through the Zoom vision,
Okay.
which is what I usually call my my eyes. Listen, with us on the show today is the one and only, absolutely hilarious headliner favorite of San Diego, Tony Calabrese.
Woo!
Yeah, that's
Thank you,
good.
thank you.
We are
Thank
so
you.
we're so lucky to have
Tony.
Tony here.
I'm thrilled to be here today. I really am.
Thank you. Thank you.
We watched you in the store, the comedy store down La Jolla, and if you haven't heard Tony on stage, you have to go. You laugh from
It's
beginning
very
to end.
funny. It's
He's-
very funny.
Yeah, it's old school humor that we love. What
So-
are we talking
Right,
about,
and
Mark?
Well,
that's
okay.
that's
I'm old,
before
so-
he even gets on stage.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about something that a lot of people have written about. Frank, they've texted me, they've emailed me, they've even called me. They want to know about it's artificial turf or artificial grass is what some people
Right.
and they have certain questions because we are in a drought, even though
Oh, yeah.
people may not think we're in a drought.
Who thinks we're not in the drought?
Well, some people think it's really.
Oh,
not.
come on, man.
No, we're in a drought. See, we're in a drought all over the
California has
state, yeah.
no water.
So a lot of people are taking out
We're
their.
on fire.
Oh, I know. Really. Yeah, I
We're
guess so.
not in good shape as far as
That's so
water. So
funny.
artificial grass.
So people are not wanting to water to conserve the water that we have, and they're
Absolutely.
replacing their grass with artificial turf. But the one question I have, this is one of the first questions, is artificial grass worth the money?
Oh, I can answer that.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Well, first of all, we have to distinguish between artificial turf and artificial grass. Now, I can tell you, growing up in the late 60s and 70s, that the real grass was, from what I heard, was much better than the fake stuff. And the stuff they brought over from Vietnam, that kind of stuff, way different than the stuff that's out there
All
today.
this stuff.
yeah, I don't even half our artists is not
And
going to
kids, stay away from edibles. That's all I have
They
to
just
say.
say, I don't even think people know what grass is anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I
you
do.
know what's bizarre? You can't even. No one passes a joint anymore.
No.
It's all,
No.
it's all
No.
edibles and.
Vaping.
So there's no grass. There's no passing.
Yeah.
weed.
And the one thing is legal.
Wow. So are we going
California.
to talk about fake grass or
No,
or,
we're going to talk about artificial turf. But first, let me give you a little bit of history about it. Artificial turf was invented in 1964. It was called AstroTurf.
AstroTurf. Right.
AstroTurf, and it was first installed at Moses Brown School in Providence, Rhode Island in 1964. But when it came to public, when it really made its debut, was in 1966 when they used it in the Astrodome
Right.
in Houston, Texas. But remember, Tony, there were some complaints about twisting ankles
A
and
lot
stuff.
of lot of knee injuries, a lot
Oh,
of
burned.
Yeah.
a lot of burns.
Yeah, and it didn't look like it looks like today, and it's been through a series of different variations and alterations so we get better with technology. But Frank, you have it in your yard,
Well,
don't
the
you?
first you said, is it worth it?
Yeah.
I mean, the cost. Okay, so it's extremely expensive. So
Yeah.
if you're going to do your yard, you got to think about a couple things. One, are you the kind of person that wants to conserve water, that wants to do what's best for the public, for our state? And that's yes. Okay. The other one is, are you tired of having leaks in your irrigation system? Tired of watering? Tired of having the timers go out? Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next thing is, what's it going to cost, and you can get estimates, free estimates, but is it worth it? Absolutely. I think it helps our environment. So that's why I did it. And you won't believe how nice it is not to water. Not even the money you're saving, but just you don't have to deal with sprinklers.
But
Okay, wait. I have an idea. I have a solution for people who want grass, but they don't want to water it.
right.
Yellow dormant grass. This is the other option. I think what you're really trying to say is if you want green, grass
Exactly.
that doesn't need
Yellow is your color.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot of people around that
What?
have yellow and brown grass.
Oh yeah,
you know?
there's a lot of houses that have.
You think
dirt.
it's a requirement that if somebody lives in a neighborhood, whether or not you have an HOA, they should maintain their lawn or their grass?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Yes.
I do.
What
too.
if they don't?
Well, then the HOA mafia can get
It's so true.
Unfortunately, private property rights can go against you when somebody wants to grow 3-foot weed and doesn't care about the front yard. They have the right to do
Oh
that.
my goodness, it's
And
horrible.
that's why HOAs were invented, because you got the guy with the rusty truck and the weeds coming out, and you want to tell him something, but you can't. So HOAs was created.
So this artificial turf, is it easy to maintain? You know,
It is easy to maintain because you don't have to do anything except
Well,
if leaves drop on it, or if you get like certain things drop on it. Instead of using a lawnmower, use a blower
right?
or a rake.
What about if a dog drops something on it? What about that?
Oh yeah.
Well, there's no problem with that because if you install it properly, there's a base underneath it, and that's usually made out of crushed rock, or it's made out of decomposed granite.
right.
You want the crushed rock because it's really less expensive, and what that is, it's a recycled material made of cement and rocks that they're going to throw in the landfill anyway, and it drains very well. So if you have a drainage, when the dog pees or poops on it, you just let them pee like a normal, and you water it, and it goes down into the ground. And
But
Wait a minute, you water it?
You can water, but
Wait, you have to water it?
you water. Yeah. If you want to get rid of the pee smell, you want to water it, drain it down.
Right.
Yeah,
So you do have to, but
yeah,
it won't
I
grow.
It won't grow, but here's the problem. The people don't know. I don't know where you're going with this list you have, but maybe I'm jumping over. But
That's okay.
You still get weeds on the edge.
yeah.
So no matter what, you get the weeds. So don't think you're going to be weed free. So a lot of people don't get it because they're going to still be pulling up the same even if it's tucked in.
But can't you spray weed killer on there?
Yeah, but who wants to do that? Because that's environmentally unfriendly. That goes into the water eventually. So you got to pull the weeds. There's not that much of a hassle. I pull the weeds.
What we're saying is concrete over your yards.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what we're saying.
And then put the
Oh
fake
my
grass
God.
on it.
That's my mom's house.
Yeah, so
She
cement.
concreted everywhere.
And if you live in Point Loma, growing up there,
Yeah.
everybody had all the Portuguese and Italians had green gravel.
Green.
Did they
Oh, that's
really?
right. I
Green
remember.
gravel.
That's right.
Yeah. And lava rocks.
Yes.
Lava
yes.
rocks. Yeah,
yes.
lava
They
rocks.
love
My
the
in-laws,
lava.
green
Whatever
gravel.
happened to lava rocks?
I
People
think they're
don't use
still
those
around.
anymore.
I don't know.
Remember, what happened to the lava lamp?
I have
those?
one.
I have
Do you
one.
really?
I still have a
Look,
lava lamp.
Remember the big lava
Oh, you can
boulders?
still get a lava lamp.
You
Yeah,
can?
you can
Yes.
make one. Go on YouTube. They teach how to
Yeah.
make it.
I have one.
Really?
Yeah, you can make your own lava lamp.
Do you have to go to Hawaii to get the lava?
Yes. Yes, you have to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
You
important.
you bring a special
It's
suitcase.
important. And lava comes in many shapes and sizes.
Hey, listen, let me ask you a
And
question.
temperatures.
Don't put it on your artificial
Oh,
grass.
talk about
I'll tell you.
temperatures. Here's another thing about artificial
Oh, it gets
grass.
hot.
Okay.
It does get hot.
Yep.
But there are different types now. And the one I bought, and I don't even know what it's called, but there's different types. It doesn't get as hot as some of them. But some of them get like, I'm talking whatever the temperature is outside. If it's 90 degrees, that floor is 90 degrees, and
yeah.
you cannot step on it.
Really?
It's like the
Oh, yeah.
street. It gets really hot.
If you're playing
So
on
that's
it,
bad for kids if it's too hot.
You can't get on
Is there
it.
any way? Is there any?
There
Sizzler. Remember that place?
well, most of the
God.
high schools that have retrofitted or redone their
Yes.
football fields use artificial turf.
Yes.
with these I think it's ground up tire underneath it. It's little micro balls.
Is that what? Yes, I think the.
Well,
And
it's not
it cushions
underneath-
it, and it does.
No,
I think it's like built into the grass.
Well, it's not. It's thrown like it's sprinkled on it after you install it, and then it's
Loaded.
raked in.
Okay.
And then those rubber balls make the grass stick up straight like their natural grass,
But I
and
think it
then it
helps
gives
the
a
heat,
padding
too.
too.
It must help
Yeah.
the heat a little bit. I mean,
I
you
don't
wouldn't
know.
want those kids running around.
Well, they
it
have
gets
shoes
hot
on.
out there. I've been out there on the field.
know?
and
Right.
it's hot.
I have
It's hot.
it. And mine doesn't get that hot, and I've been on others that are really hot.
So let me ask you some. Okay, we know that you can water it, but can you pressure water it? I mean, like if let's say a dog poops on it and it's not your standard
Poop like diarrhea.
Yeah, like
I mean, like a Great Dane St. Bernard
Oh,
mixer or
wow.
something
Oh,
like that.
God.
Yeah, which all they do.
yeah.
Can you power wash
Can you
it?
power wash it? How do you clean it? Do you have to go
I
out
don't
there
know.
with soap and water and clean it, or
Why not? I
But
would.
aren't we kind of get rid of your dogs, people? Is what we're saying. Concrete and dogs. Just get rid of the dogs. Get the concrete.
Get
Just
a
fake-
concrete.
get a
Because
fake
you're still
dog.
going to be hosing it off no matter what.
Fake,
and you're wasting
fake grass,
water.
fake dog.
You know, I've also had this
Imitation dogs.
I've had this question because people have.
How about imitation poop?
There you go. I have some of that too. Yeah.
This is what people have also had concerns about. They say, "Well, am I going to get bugs because it's like a carpet, isn't it? You know."
I don't know if they're in my house. They don't have bugs.
I
Bugs
don't think-
I don't think fleas can live in artificial.
Yeah,
turf.
no,
I think
they
you're
don't
right.
like. They don't like plastic and
No.
like
So, Frank, you just touched upon this, but can you just go over again? What do you actually like? What's the process for installing grass? Like, what do you put underneath?
Well, the
it?
first
How does
thing
it-
you want to get is the area you want to do, and you want to have really nice edging, because you're not going to, you may just have a little spot, so you want dividers, and you kind of draw it on a piece of paper, like where you want it, then you measure it, okay, and then you get people, if you don't want to do it, I actually do this, you want to take away the first 3 or 4 inches of dirt, and people think that's easy. Oh my God, wait till you get the first wheelbarrow full, and you don't even know where to put it. It is the most difficult thing to remove compact earth, and it expands. So what you think is a small area, go ahead,
Right.
Maria. It takes a lot.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. It takes up a lot of. What were you going to say?
It takes up a lot of effort and time. It takes a lot of area, so you have to get a certain truck and somebody to haul it off.
I'm just curious.
process.
There are plenty of types of like actual grass.
Mm-hmm.
So with artificial grass, do you have choices?
Yes,
I
there's
mean,
a
are they
whole bunch of
different
choices.
types?
Because you have to remember, if you think of artificial grass, think of a putting green. That grass is going to be tight and small, and that's they have fake grass putting greens that they can make in your backyard if people like to golf.
Oh, that wouldn't be your kind of grass, Tony, would it?
No, definitely not tight and small.
No, a tight and small kind of grass.
Gotta have bigger
Okay,
grass.
do we have a looser, bigger grass?
Yeah.
They
Like
even have
just
ones that you
like
said. That's funny that you said the yellow
Monumental
stains.
grass
They
with
have
a big voice.
Yeah, Tony was just telling me about this.
Yeah,
What
they
were you
have-
saying about the stains, Tony? About the grass? Was that you saying that?
no, they have grass that looks like you have
Are you
a
talking about
water.
the yellow
in it.
stains? We just talked about that a minute
No,
ago.
they actually the fake grass has stains.
Oh yeah,
on
they
it.
do. They have that. They
Yeah,
actually have stained grass so that it looks like it's not
Like,
been.
oh my
Water,
God.
Grass that
right?
hasn't
It
been
looks very
watered.
natural.
You
Well,
know?
like this. If you look at this piece, we have the people can't see us, but on YouTube,
Yeah, we're looking
You know,
at
you
a
look
piece
at
of.
it,
We're
yeah,
actually
that's-
looking at a sample grass.
Look at
You
that.
know,
yeah, nice
plastic.
grass.
Stop rolling it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't smoke it. That's some.
Listen, Frank.
Here's the other bad things about fake grass. For those of you who are really into making sure what the materials are made out of, there has been studies that show that anytime you have plastic, there's always releasing toxic fumes. And so a lot of people don't do it because they feel like the kids are going to play on it. There could be something coming out of it. And then when you get rid of it, you have to bury it in a landfill, and that can pollute. So there is that side of the playing field where people
Yeah.
go, no, I don't want it.
Well, can you recycle it? Can you chop it up and melt it again?
I
Because
don't
it's
know.
plastic.
I have a question for you guys. I mean, what do people prefer when they go to buy a home? If it has artificial turf, does it do anything to the value of the
I
home?
can answer that, or
Go
you want
ahead.
to answer it?
Go ahead, Mark.
Well, I know that when people
nicer.
go into a house, yeah, it looks really nice, but it also helps them with their monthly costs because they're not paying for watering the grass, and they're not also paying for a landscaper. So it's
Right.
just pretty simple. It's a maintenance thing. But there's a lot of people that go, I don't want fake stuff. Like I need
Real grass.
real, like kind of.
I actually just sold a house that the guy
I need
put.
real grass.
Yeah.
Am
I know.
Tony's.
Yeah, no edibles.
Yeah.
No edibles. No, never
This is the
again.
one weird thing that I know. This is my brother. Okay, this is my brother sitting next to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's Mr. YouTube, so he doesn't hire people. He goes, "I can do that. I got YouTube."
Yeah, because I could do it better. Because I'm.
But can you install? Can a person?
Yes, I did
install?
it. I did it. What you do is you get it. It comes in a roll,
Mm-hmm.
just like a carpet. And once you dig out the dirt and you have it nice and pretty much even, you bring in the fill, which I use decomposed granite, and I use the other stuff. It's cheaper, whatever it's called, Type 2 or I don't know. There's a name for it.
Right.
And then you pack it. You get a packer. They're called plate packers.
What the hell are we
What's a
talking
packer?
about?
What's a whacker or a packer?
You pack the earth.
Okay.
How do you do that?
What we're saying
You
is
get
hire a professional.
Yeah,
Right.
what we're
Yeah.
saying.
I think that's
Yes,
that's
but
right.
anyway, laid it out.
Or you can hire Frank.
Yeah,
I mean,
hire Frank.
I mean,
there you
You're,
go.
Right.
you're available, right?
But mine
So I
was,
guess
it was the big area. I hire somebody, but once you do it, you compact it, and then you nail it down with 6-inch nails around
Really?
the edges. Yeah, about every 6 inches, you nail it with a hammer. That's what keeps the edges down. You didn't know that, did you?
No.
Did
Yeah,
not.
they're
I thought it was
stainless-
crazy glue.
No, they're stainless steel.
I didn't, remember the guy with crazy glue would have that helmet and
I
he would
miss
hang
that
himself
guy.
from an
Yeah.
I-beam?
Every
Sure.
time-
Oh, I know what it is. Flex Seal.
Oh,
Put
Flex.
that on
That's
anything.
the other guy. Yeah, Flex.
You think you could make a Flex Seal boat out of artificial turf?
I think so. I think you could.
Yeah.
So here's something that I did find out. I did a little bit of research on this. It does last for a long time. It can last for up to 25 years. I don't know what
Well,
it's going to
it's
look like.
plastic.
You know?
Well, it's plastic. It's probably going to last for 250 years.
Right.
Exactly. That's probably a big issue. And I also found out that costs can be between, I'm going to suspect $8 a square foot, upwards to $20 a square foot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
to put it in.
I mean, that's like the most expensive tile that you're going to put in your bathroom is $7 to $10 a square foot.
Straight cash, homie.
And the
Yeah.
grass, when you're doing your backyard, you got 20 foot by 30 foot. There's some big areas, so that adds up really quick.
So we know there's a lot of advantages to putting in artificial turf. So we have the cost advantage and maintenance advantage. You're not going to need to water it. But what are some disadvantages, if there are any? Are there any disadvantages?
Well, here's the disadvantages. Like I said, you're going to have to pull weeds because you're going to have weeds going through it, so
Right.
it's not maintenance free.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes the edges come up, so you got to maintain that, make sure they're rolled down and cut properly. And sometimes you decide you want to put a tree in the middle of it, and you got to cut a hole in it, or you got to move it around. If you want to do any landscaping, you can't just like regular grass. You could just go over it, but this takes a more planning. So if you want to change,
It kind of sounds like an outdoor carpet.
Yes.
That's what
it is an
sounds
outdoor
Right.
carpet.
Yeah.
I mean,
It sounds like
I love
outdoor
mine.
carpeting.
Mine is hot only once or twice, whatever. Not that
You know,
much.
earlier in the show, we spoke about the fires that are going on up in Northern California. I think they're looking at getting those things contained, or
Hopefully.
hopefully
They're looking
just
at
a little
getting it
bit
contained?
Well, they are. I think we're looking okay.
Okay, so what's your point?
Well, what can it catch on fire? I mean, what if
Plastic.
Let me
well,
tell you
somebody
something.
throws a cigarette on there? Am I going to have a flame in my front yard? Because from what I understand, it melts,
Right.
Right.
but it doesn't catch on fire. Like there's something in it.
Right.
Is that correct, Frank?
I'm not sure about the returns that they put in there, but I'm sure that anything will burn if you put fire on it eventually. I don't know about throwing a cigarette. I mean, do people still smoke in California?
Yeah, of course they do.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, they smoke. But
I mean, you got a
vape
guy at your
more.
house. He's gonna actually flick a burning cigarette.
Well, you
on
don't
your
know.
fake
You
grass.
know, I don't know what people do, but if I'm just wondering.
Well, if you have,
Well, if you
can you
think it's
imagine living in
grass,
Arizona?
you would definitely do it,
Oh, you're right.
wouldn't
well,
you?
if somebody throws a cigarette on my
I mean,
lawn,
I wouldn't. Yeah, but
I've actually been
someone
around
else.
Maria when she's carpeting a house. I don't want to be around her when she's carpeting her lawn. Okay.
no, I know that. That's true.
Never.
So here,
Let's never ever say the phrase Maria carpeting her lawn.
Never say
never
that.
that again. So here's
Thank
the
you.
thing, and many of you have probably had this before. Sometimes there can be reflection from one of your windows, and it can get pretty hot in summertime. It's almost like a magnifying glass.
Right.
Do you remember the sick kid who would take a magnifying glass and use it to do ants with it? Did you ever?
yeah,
in
I remember
school?
that.
Oh yeah, Mark.
No.
That wasn't me.
They grew up to be
I
politicians.
remember that
those
sick.
kids.
I remember that sick guy.
Remember? Well,
Of course.
these glass
You light everything on
the glass
fire.
can the windows can actually get really hot. They act as a
Absolutely.
can that damage the grass in certain areas, so you have discoloration in
Absolutely.
areas.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
In
anytime-
Arizona, yards are just bursting into flames.
How are the ants doing? How are the ants doing on
Right,
the
exactly.
artificial grass?
So what I'm thinking here with the artificial grass is we've hit a lot of points.
I could hit a point. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to make a house look clean, if you like that clean look, you get artificial grass. Okay. There's a lot of people that have they look at it like, I'm going to put plants, I'm going to water it, I'm going to have a great garden, and then it just starts getting weeds, and you leave it alone. This one, if you want to go on a vacation, you come back, it's the same stuff. You pull a couple weeks, it's not a big deal.
Right.
So I always recommend that you get what makes you whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for no maintenance, get
Right.
fake grass. If you like gardening,
Right.
get the real stuff.
Pros and cons for,
Pros and cons for everything.
environmental issues. One is that yes, you're
It's
not
made out
using,
of plastic. You know,
you're not using water. You know, it's
Right,
everything.
obviously.
There's always take good and bad, pluses and minuses.
It's hard to bury stuff, though. That's
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, just saying.
Really hard.
I don't know. I feel like you could just peel back the
Oh yeah,
grass,
for the shallow
dig,
grave.
dig under.
Tony,
Doesn't drain quite well. I'm just saying.
don't they normally roll them up in the carpet first?
I don't know anything of what you're talking about.
Hey,
Just roll them
Frank,
up in the
Make
grass.
sure your rolled
you're done.
carpet of grass doesn't have a human.
we
in
need
it.
to know a little bit more about our guests and how to get a hold of them. Can you help me out with that?
No, absolutely. Well, Maria Herman. I mean, we could see her in San Diego. Tell us where you're at, because I think you're jumping around a little bit.
Yes.
Right now.
I am a little bit right now.
Yeah.
I'm on tour in England, so
Nice.
But
Okay, so did you
Comedy
hear-
Heights. Just look for me through comedyheights.com, and we have a new show that's starting at Liberty Station, and
Oh, I
Tony
love it.
is going to be involved with that.
Oh,
so
I
he's
love
going to
it.
be
Yeah,
hosting
Liberty
and managing
Station.
I'll
the
be
show
hosting
there.
that every other week.
Okay, so all of our our listeners and our viewers on YouTube, Maria is really an international comedian. I mean, we love having her here. She is really touring in England. So when you're touring in England, you got to be funny. You just don't go there. You know, you have to get the gigs all set up. So congratulations on that.
Congratulations.
And Tony Calabrese, how do we get a hold of you?
TonyCalabrese.com or Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Tony, like Tony?
T-O-N-Y. Yes, like T-O-N-Y.
Like, yo, Tony.
Hey.
Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Yo,
Mark,
hey.
how does
That's my song.
we're here to help people in real estate. So, Mark, how do people get a hold of us?
We're easy to get a hold of. Just look us up online at powellbrothersrealty.com, or you can call at 858-922-7725 anytime with any real estate related questions, whether you're a buyer or seller or a senior buyer, military. We help everybody.
Everybody. And also, you can go to our YouTube channel, look under My Funny House with the Powell Brothers, and you'll get to see this show and all of our episodes. I think we're up to like 34 episodes.
We're on 36. We're gonna be
36 and climbing,
Yes.
and get a good laugh. And hey, we'll be getting more questions from all of our fans who have been emailing us, and we'll address those. And we really appreciate you staying with us on this beautiful
Yes.
Saturday.
Thank you for listening, everybody.
Stay away from edibles.
Yes.
Why?
Stay away.
I said, go towards edibles.
Grass or weeds? Which?
Yeah, you can't-
Which?
yeah, it's-
Both.
Just saying.
Exactly.
Not good.
Maintain your grass. See you later.
Bye,
I
guys.
do.
Thanks so much for joining us today for My Funny House with the Powell Brothers, right here on The Answer San Diego. Join us next week as the Powell Brothers bring you more funny stories of what can go really right and what can go really wrong with home improvements and home ownership, and bring the laughs to you with yet another hilarious guest comedian. To find out more about the Powell Brothers, be sure to check out their website at powellbrothersrealty.com, or you can visit myfunnyhouse.com. Again, thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next week for My Funny House on The Answer San Diego.